Lesson 32 continues our study of the me verbs. We're on page 210 of Machen. There's no new workbook information here. Notice at the beginning of the lesson, he says he talks about tithemi, aphiemi, dignimi, and apalyemi. I would like for you to know all the principal parts of each of those verbs. So we already have dithemi, now tithemi, aphiemi, dignimi, and apalyemi. What we've learned about dithemi is going to help us with these, so we're not going to have a lot of new things to learn in this lesson, just some things which are peculiar to tithemi itself. The vocabulary, paragraph 523, goes like this. Anigo, I open. Anigo, I open. Apalyemi, or apalio, I destroy, or in the middle, I perish. Archi, a beginning. Remember, en aparkis, that's the word right there. Aphiemi, I let go, I permit, I leave, I forgive. The dignimi, or dignio, I show. Evrisco, I find. This is where we get our word eureka. Eureka, I found it. Evrisco, I find. Epitithemi, I lay upon. Eos, an adverb, up to or until, or as a conjunction, while or until. Kathos, an adverb, just as, and remember that os ending is like the ly in English, so that's an adverb. You can see it right away. Keros, a time, and this is a fixed time, a point in time. Keros. Nimeon, do, a tomb. Nimeon, a tomb. Monon, an adverb, only. Pyros, do, fire. Simeon, a sign. Stoma, stomatos, do, a mouth. Tithemi, I place or put. And tithemi, tin psikin, I lay down my life. Ipago, I go away. Kero, I rejoice. Chronos, a time, and this is more like a period of time. We talk about chronology, a period of passing time. That's from this word chronos. And ode, an adverb, hither or here. And osper, adverb, just as. And oste, so that, or in order that. Now let me remind you the things that we said about the me verbs before, that there's a reduplication, the T, reduplication with tithemi. You see the principal parts on the top of 524. The endings are going to be the same endings as we have with dithemi, and we won't be going over those again. The principal parts, tithemi, thiso, ethika, tethika, tethime, tethine. Learn those, have them ready for a quiz anytime now, and of course on the final exam. The stem is te, as we indicated before, or the, depending on which one is used. The forms are in paragraph 598. We'll turn to those in just a moment. Some of this is going to be covered there. He said, when he says like dithemi, we've already covered that. The conjugation of aphiemi, 531, paragraph 531. Aphiemi, I let go, I permit, I leave. He points out what we've done before, is that the apo, the op is the preposition apo. The iota is simply the sign of the present system, and that leaves only the epsilon as the stem of iimi, the real root. Then in paragraph 533, we see the conjugation of dignimi and the apalyemi. Learn those principal parts as we indicated. You'll see those in the vocabulary. And then paragraph 534, oste. Oste, so that expresses results. We've already seen that ina can express results in 1 John, and so can oste, and very often this is used, sometimes followed by the accusative or sometimes by the infinitive. He gives an illustration there. He healed them so that the crowd marveled. Now, he didn't do it so that the crowd would marvel. He did it with the result that the crowd marveled. The Paragraph 536, subjunctive of eos on. And we have these on the board. On the flip chart. Eos on, you see the examples before we go over there. Minate, eos on eltho, remain until I come. Now, of course, that remain there is as an imperative. Remain till I come. So it's looking at a future time. That's why on is used with eos rather than u. But then the next example, eminen eos u eilthon, he remained until I came. An actual occurrence, therefore he uses u, the relative. So we'll see how they're diagrammed over here on the flip chart. This is just so you see oste used like an ina, expressing purpose, diagrammed under the verb. Then minate, remain until I come, looking at a future time, therefore on is used. And then eminen, eos u, looking at an actual occurrence, he remained until I came. So both of those are in paragraph 536. Do your exercises as usual, and make sure you don't slack off now toward the end of the book. We need these practices just prior to the work with the final exam. 1 John, we want to do 1 John chapter 2, verses 9 and 10. This is familiar, looks very much like one we had before, the O, legon, and meson. That was one we had before, was saying and not doing. Here, the one who is saying to be in the light. Remember, this is the paragraph 298, the infinitive, 306, the infinitive as object of verb of saying to be in the light, or saying, I am in the light, and hating his brother. If he's doing that, then he is in the darkness until now. So you really can't be in the light and hate your brother, is what John is saying to us. The O, again, the article, being used with both participles, and we have them both on one still. One way of doing. Then 2:10, he says, the one who is loving his brother abides in the light. This is the opposite of what he did before. The one who is loving his brother abides in the light, and a cause of stumbling is not in him. This skandalon is a word from which we get our word scandal. There is no scandal in him, no skandalon, cause of stumbling in him. Your verbs are very simple this time. Present participle here, two present participles on the other side. Present indicative, present indicative. So we have one more chapter. Chapter 33 coming up, and we'll be looking at the final me verbs, and then we'll be looking at the next two verses in 1 John, and then perhaps we can have something to say about what you can do after you've finished this course and go on to other things.